Hello YouTube and welcome to a new series that I'm definitely calling, insert the name here once I've decided what I'm calling it. This is a short series where I'm going to be using small games, indie games probably, to play and have fun, but also to use them as an inspiration for world building. So PotionCraft is a game I got super into over this Christmas, and I figured it would make a nice little prompt for coming up with some backstories for a village and who all these people are and things like that. So join me for the ride. Let's go a new game. We could go classic, we could go explorer, we could go grandmaster. Let's see. Do I want to make it more difficult? I've already completed the game on classic. Do I want to go more easy, more relaxed gameplay because we're focusing on the world building? Oh, I'm going to grandmaster just so I get my difficulty up. No, I don't want a more grindy game because that's not the purpose of the thing. So I'm thinking I might go explorer or classic. The focus of this is on the world building and the story rather than making the game a challenging game for myself. So I'm going to go easy mode. Let's start playing. The story begins. You're a novice alchemist wandering the world in search of your destiny. Well, first things first, we need to know, who are we? We're a novice alchemist? Are we male, female, non-gender binary? What's the situation? We need to make our own alchemist if this is going to be an NPC in my world someday. So chat, you're going to help me out here. I'm going to put a poll and you guys are going to decide who is this alchemist that we're playing. Question. What is our gender? Male, female, or I'll put non-binary as all other options. Three-way tie, let's go. It's very close to a three-way tie, you bastards. If it's three-way tie, I'll just roll for it. But you are currently at 16, 16, 15. With a basically three-way tie between 34% of you wanting male, 34% of you want non-binary, and 32% of you wanting female. We're just gonna roll with it. I'm just gonna roll a D3 essentially, a D6 halved, and we'll see how we are. D6 halved with a 1, 2, 3. That is that one halved is a male. All right, so we are playing a male character. We're playing a male character. Let me open up my NPC creator table and no, in fact, let me put it to a poll as well. Poll. What species are we? Don't just troll the polls, you bastards. You're gonna end up wasting all my time. What species are we? Are we human? Are we an elf? Are we a dwarf? Are we a hobbit? Or are we other? 1 minute to decide, starting now. What species is this main character gonna be? Are we human or are we dancer? Troll, obviously. He could be troll. Ooh, we've got a lot of other coming up. What is the other that people want to be if we go with other? Troll, tiefling, tabaxi, smurf. Shift my face over here so that when I'm looking at the chat, I'm actually looking into the screen a little more. Now I'm over here. Giant. Kenku. Tiefling. Cat. Smurf. Small mouse folk. Myconid. That could be good. That Myconid could be interesting because we do grow a lot of mushrooms in this game. Alright, so we've voted we're going to be other, so let me put it to another poll. Let me put something like, I'll put animal folk, if we want to be something like a Leonin or a Tabaxi or something. Let me put large folk, so if we want to be giant, Goliath, or Furbolg or Bugbear or something big. Let me put small folk for those people wanting to be teeny Smurfy type people, or like goblins or something small. Let me put something monster folk, so like something a little bit more monstrous like trolls and ogres and stuff. And what's another option? What else we got? Tieflings, I think, was another option. I'll just put tieflings as tieflings. All right. We're going to be something a little out of the norm. So we're already an outsider. Maybe that's the reason why we are wandering the world in search of our destiny. We are not we're not a human. We're not an elf. We're not a dwarf. We're not a hobbit. We're not the four sort of most populous, civilized peoples of a Dungeons and Dragons world. If anybody is joining this for the first time ever seeing any of my content because you like PotionCraft and you thought you'd click along, I am a Dungeons and Dragons content creator mostly, so while I will be playing PotionCraft, the whole purpose of this is to sort of use PotionCraft as an inspiration for making a town in my world, the world that I use for my stories in Dungeons and Dragons. The majority of people saying some sort of monster folk or a tiefling, perhaps. Quite a few votes for animal folk. Not many people wanting large folk, the huge giants and Goliaths and stuff. Monster folk with 42%. Didn't get a majority, but monster folk it is. Alright, so last poll then. Last poll to decide what we are. We're going to be some kind of monster. What kind of monster folk are we? Are we a troll or troll descendant? Are we an ogre or ogre descendant? Are we some sort of, let's say, manticore or manticore descendant? A minotaur descendant perhaps, and what's another some sort of like hag descendant. Alright, those are the 5 options I'm going to give you. Which one of those do we want to be? Myconid? Oh shit, Myconid. Forgot to use Myconid. Ouch. Oh, I forgot to say Myconid. I'll put it down to whichever one comes out here and then Myconid, and we'll do a 50-50 vote between these two. Oh, it's coming down to trolls or hags mostly. Are we going to be a hag or a troll? Mike Onid. That's our name. Mike Onid. Myconids, for anyone who doesn't know, are a mushroom race. A people of sentient humanoid mushrooms. Alright, hag has it with 44% of the vote, so I forgot to put in Myconid before, so we're just doing this. We're doing this a little on the fly. It's not my usual level of democracy with the preferential voting and everything, but that's not the purpose of this. We just need to start making choices. Alright, current poll, you've got 1 minute to decide. Are we going to be a Myconid or a hag? Myconid mushroom person that's wandering the land trying to find a place to rest. Oh, definitely by the looks of this, people are happy to be a Myconid person. Alright, start thinking about names then. It looks like we're going to be a Myconid with 80% of the vote already. What sort of a name are we? We're a male Myconid. Should have chosen species before gender, really, because Myconids don't particularly have gender. They're a sort of genderless race of people in my world usually. They don't use the same gender constructs and such as humans do. They're not really genderless per se. It's just that their concept of gender is a lot more complicated and fluid, as mushrooms tend to be. There is a species of mushroom in real life that has like 1,000 different genders or something stupid. It's crazy. All right, with 72% of the vote, we are a Myconid. That does work with the gender poll, though. I'll be in 3-way split. That actually is exactly right, yeah. So we have decided with 72% of the vote we are going to be some form of Myconid, mushroom person, and we are wandering the world in search of our destiny. We will we'll continue with the tutorial and we'll decide some things about ourselves a little bit more later. After a long journey, you finally found a place to ply your trade. Okay. An abandoned house. You find an old abandoned house on the edge of town. Which town? What town is it that we are on the edge of? Is it a tiny, tiny little settlement? Is it a hamlet? What sort of a town is it? And what sort of environment are we in? Let's decide on the wider world environment first. Let's go poll. What terrain are we in? So what terrain are we surrounded by? Is it mostly desert / savanna? Is it forest / jungle? Is it grassland? Is it Arctic / snowy? What else we got? Rocky. Rocky / mountainous. Mountains. Alright, with 1 minute to decide, the poll starts now. Whereabouts are we? What terrain have we been wandering through in the land? We're a Myconid man and we're trying to find a new place to call home, and we come across an old abandoned house on the edge of a town. Alright, 40% of the decision was forest jungle with 35 rocky mountains. So we're on the foothills of a mountain near a forested area. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop you over to this one. A brand new screen where we can use Legend Keeper. Legend Keeper is this is not sponsored, but it is a site that I find very useful for keeping a track of things. So I'm making PotionCraft village. We need to decide what that village is going to be called. The physical attributes of that village, for instance. Description, location, here we go. Location, surroundings. Discuss the surroundings of the settlement. Is it mountains, desert, coral reef, edge of the forest, etc. So, name is located in the foothills of a rocky mountain, in the edges of a forest. Okay. We don't know where in location it is to other places. That will be something that I will decide later. Once I've decided on this village, I'll place it somewhere in the world of Rin, and then when you guys come across it in the Twitch Tales D&D series, maybe, you'll be like, hey, I know that place. Alrighty, what else have we got? We have, we've got to decide what sort of weather this place experiences, and some of the other things about it too. The roads, does it have roads, does it have sewage, any places of interest and things, but hey, we'll get there all in time. We can also decide for this place any notable denizens and things, but that will come through playing the game. The economy of the village, do they grow anything here, etc, etc. Hopefully, over time, we will become one of the exports of this village. Our potions and our ingredients might become one of the exports of this village. The history, the founding of the village, etc, etc. But for now, let's pop on back over to here. Hi. Okay, so you found an old abandoned house on the edge of town. Judging by the alchemy equipment and garden, the former owner seems to have practiced alchemy. Apparently, a wizard used to live here, but the layer of dust and condition of the house suggests it's been empty for a long time. So, I'm going to say, under the last tab of that, the history of the village, under ruins, I can set, is any of the settlement in ruins, what happened? I can say, old abandoned house on the edge of town, used to belong to, brackets, name, close brackets, the wizard. Now taken over by name, brackets, a travelling Myconid alchemist. Alright. Foothill fungus. Does our dude have ethics, you know? Morels? Ripshot. Coastal near a mountain range, so it rains frequently? Yeah, maybe. Alright, so moving on. Shop opening. You decide to turn the house into a potion shop. After several days of cleaning and preparing, the shop is ready for its first customers. It's time to remember your alchemy skills and start this new life in town. Alright, shall we name this? Shall we do a little bit more about this town then before we open this shop? So, We've taken it over. We should name the town, I think. Let's pop on back over to here. And let's go down to let's decide on the weather. So somebody said rains frequently. Rains frequently. I'll say on the windward side. In the windward side foothills of a rocky mountain. Windward side of a mountain is usually in a mountain range. One side gets the wind and the other side doesn't. And because one of them gets the wind, it brings with it all of the moist air from the sea or what have you. And then as the wind hits the mountain range, the wind is forced up in altitude. And the further higher you go, the colder it gets. So the wind condenses and turns into clouds and rains. And so the windward side of a mountain tends to get a lot more rain. And then by the time the wind passes over the top of the mountain down the other side, it tends to be a lot drier in air. And so the leeward side of the mountain, the side that does not get rain usually, is much more of a desert or a drier side. That's just a wee geography lesson. So if we're getting a lot of rain, we're probably on the windward side of a mountain. So the settlement is located in the windward side foothills of a rocky mountain. In the edges of a forest. Weather. Rains frequently. Morning fog. Quite windy. What sort of climate do we have? Is it are we in more of a tropical climate? Are we in like a temperate climate? Are we in like Great Britain sort of climate? Is it sunny often or mostly grey and cloudy? Temperate, grey, cloudy, dank, cloudy, dank. So muggy, grey, cloudy, and temperate. Okay. Rarely suffers major weather events, such as typhoons or tornadoes. All right, so we've got the surroundings and the weather. Let's not choose the town name yet, because we need to learn a little bit more about the town before we decide on an appropriate name for it. We need to know on the architecture style. We've got a little hint of it from the image on the screen. Any other settlement names we'll come up with afterwards. Physical defences. Is the town walled? Apparently not, because we just walked right into it and just stole somebody's house. We just squatted in somebody's house on the edge of town, so I don't think they've got much in the way of defences, right? Alright, is the settlement walled? Does it have guardhouses, barracks, towers? Does it have a magical barrier, ballistas on each rooftop? Name is a very unguarded town. It is so small and relatively isolated that there are few reasons to need defenses. There is no town wall or guard towers, but they do, as you'll see later in the game, they do have a guard house and an adventurer's hall. Adventurer's hall. With name being a thoroughfare for heroes on quests. Most of the defense comes from them. Something like that, something to that effect. All right. It could be that the town is walled, but we're even further out on the edge of town. Could be. Yeah, maybe we'll change that later if we decide. All right. So we're opening our shop, ready for the new customers. Let's go. Adding ingredients to the cauldron. This is just about the this is about the mechanics of the game. You add in things from your pot, and you put them in your cauldron, and you add in that, and then you add in this one, and add in this one. And how the game works is that for every ingredient you add, it sends your little potion bottle a certain distance over a certain track on your unexplored map. And then once you've got, you can take your little spoon here and you can stir it around, and you can stir it slowly to move the thing slowly, or you can stir it fast to move it fast. And as you are picking up these little, as you're moving, you're exploring the map, and as you are touching these little bubbles here, they give you a little experience that pops up in the corner over here. And so you, ooh, and then you've got to find these little bottles here, and you go, ooh, what's this little bottle? And as soon as your bottle touches it at all, it lights up with a 1, and you're pretty close to it. But if you can get even closer to it, which I can't with the ingredients given to me in the tutorial, if you can get close enough to it that you're almost surrounded by the, you've almost got your bottle lined up perfectly, then you get a 2, strength 2 potion. And if you can get your bottle lined up absolutely spot on perfectly with it, you get a strength 3. So you can get a strength 1, 2, or 3 potion with it. A weak, a regular, or a strong. And then once you're ready for it, you heat it up like this. Poof! And then you unlock the effect if you haven't unlocked it already, and you add that effect to your potion. And then you can change what the potion looks like, but obviously not during the tutorial, I guess. Finish the potion, boom, and it's added to my my inventory, I guess. However, sometimes instead of just adding this directly, you can see that it goes an extra distance. There's like a black part with an X, and then there's a white part with not an X. And if I want to go extra far and get more out of each ingredient, I can grind them up before adding them to my ingredients, adding them to my cauldron. So I can save ingredients by, instead of using 2 of each, I can use only 1 of each and grind them up. Whee! Just like that. And then I can get another healing potion. Made the same potion but only half as ingredients. So I can save the recipe of that. Whee! And then I finish making the potion. Now I've got 2 of them, one using 1 of each ingredient, one using 2 of each ingredient. And graphics are lovely, they really are. It's a beautiful game. It's very addictive. Moving between rooms, so we have lots of different rooms available to us, so we can go, what does it want us to do? Go to the shop. Oh, I need to go to the shop first. Go to the left. Oh, I've got a shop now. Every day, people from all over town, even from other towns, will stop in to buy your various magic potions, and that is the crux of why I decided that this was going to be a fun little world building thing, because you see a lot of people come through, you get to see what they want, you get to see what they look like, you get to see what they want for the day, and then we get to decide, ooh, what does that mean for them? Who are they as a person? Maybe we can give them a name and a backstory and come up with them, and one by one we can flesh out this entire town of who lives here and what do they want and what problems are they facing. Your job is to brew potions in the laboratory and sell them to customers. Many potions must be brewed for a specific purpose, but it's still a good idea to keep a few of the most popular potions on hand just in case. If a customer likes a potion, it'll be clear from their reaction. They're upset if they don't, they're surprised or shocked if they do. Here comes our first customer of the day. To offer a potion for sale, take it from your inventory and place it on the right side of the scale.
You're an alchemist, right? My husband ate expired sausage on a dare with his friends, and now he has explosive diarrhea. Tell me, do you have any potion to cure this?
I certainly do, but first things first, we gotta decide, who the hell are you? Pigeon on is first in, says her name is Cilia, or Cilia. Alright, so we're gonna go over to the denizens page. We're gonna go down to notable denizens, are any noteworthy people often found here. And I will say we have Cilia what? Cilia, Margaret, Millie, Mycella. Cilia, Margaret. Cilia Margaret. Or Margaret Cilia. I think Cilia is more of a last name. Margaret Cilia. There we are. Margaret Cilia. And what we know of her is that she's female presenting human. Female human, probably what? Late 20s? Mid-20s? Mid-20s. Married to a... what would you call someone who eats expired sausage for a day? An idiot. Daredevil? Risk taker? Rowan? Married to adrenaline junkie. A joker. Bit of a joker. Married to, we'll call him Rowan because that was the only name given. Rowan Cilia. Married to Rowan Cilia. A fun guy. A fun, carefree jackass. That's all we know about them so far. Do we have any anything else that we know about this woman or can infer about her, what her job is or something maybe? Barmaid? Pastry chef? Ooh, pastry chef at the bar? Yeah, I quite like that. Pastry chef working at the local bar. Human, female presenting, mid-20s, works as a pastry chef at the local bar. Married to Rowan Cilia, a fun, carefree jackass. Alright, I think we're good. We'll learn more about her as she comes back in the days. All right, do we have any potions to cure Rowan Cilia, the carefree jackass? We do, yes. Let's give her this one. Selling potions. The amount of gold you'll receive from selling a potion is shown in the sell button. Click the sell button to sell this potion. I'll buy this potion, but I won't pay much. The reason she won't pay much is because it's considered a weak potion of healing. It's only level 1. Sell it for 20 gold. Bam. The customer needs this kind of potion. Off the potion for sale by placing it on the scale. I was just walking down the street minding my own business when a flower pot fell out of nowhere and bonked me right on the head. Good thing I've always had a thick skull or I'd be out cold. But I've got a nice big bump on my head now. What can I rub on it to make it go away? What is this guy's name? Nigel? I like Nigel. Nigel works for me. Why is the value of potions calculated in weight though? Because it's about them. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a visual representation of how much they're willing to pay. You'll see when we get into the haggling section. This guy screams William, Billy, Bart. Bart works for this guy. I like Bart. Trevor, Jeffrey, Declan, Nigel. I like Nigel. I think Nigel works for this guy. Nigel. I think he has two. I think he has multiple names though. Nigel William. I want Bart in there somewhere. Bartson, because his dad's Bart. Nigel William Bartson. What we got about Nigel William Bartson? He's male presenting, obviously male human. Looks human anyway. What do we reckon for his age? Is he like late 20s, 30s? What do we know about Nigel? He's about 30, reckon. 23, 30, mid 30s, 32. Early 30s. We're going to go for around 30. So he's in his. We're going to say he's in his early 30s. What does he do for a living? What does this guy do for a living? Looking at his outfit and such, he's got dirt on him. He's got a bit of scrub, wear and tear. He's patched up his clothing, but not in all the locations. He's got holes in it. He's definitely not rich. Realised who he looks like. He looks like me. Tanner, gravedigger, construction, handyman. I think you're right that he's just kind of like, he's just a bit of odd jobs. I think Jen's right. He does a bit of everything. Is there a word for that? Handyman's a good word for it. Is there another word that's more like a little bit of everything? Jack of all trades. Jack of all trades is kind of a good word for it, right? Jack of all. Yeah, I think like a jack of all trades. Gravedigger, handyman, construction, labourer, etc. Thick skull, Jack Offal should have been his name. Invests in crypto. Son of Bart of all trades. Jack of all trades, gravedigger, handyman, construction labourer, etc. And is there anything else we can infer about flower pot? Bonked him on his head. Hardy guy. Hardy constitution. Cool. That's all we know about him so far. We'll see more of Nigel when he comes back. Haggling. To make more money on a potion, you can try haggling. Successful haggling could significantly increase the price of a potion, but unsuccessful haggling could do the opposite, making it drop. To start haggling, click haggle. Boop. Try haggling for a better price. So you can choose different topics. You can choose the topic of alcohol, which is very easy. As soon as I hit start haggling, this little arrowhead is going to go back and forth, and whenever it's inside one of these yellow zones, I can click the button, and then my side goes up, 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 until eventually he's going to pay more and more and more to balance it out. Which I have logical problems with. Like, I should be haggling to say, like, hey, my thing is worth more, and my side should be going down, and then at the end of that we should have a little animation of them putting more money on it so that it balances it back out again. But it's not how that works. It's not how they decided to represent it in this game. So we could haggle with the topic of alcohol. We could haggle with the topic of weapons. You see that the yellow bars get a little smaller. Or we could haggle with the topic of reading. The yellow bars actually get larger again. I've never fully understood what's happening there. If we go for the easy mode, the best thing we can do is get an extra 4 gold, but we don't lose any if we fail. If we go for the medium mode, we get an extra 8 gold if we succeed, -4 if we lose though. And then 4 and 5, the hard mode and the very hard mode, they have to be unlocked later through a skill tree, which we'll get to later. I'm pretty good at haggling, having played a lot of this game, so I'm just going to go for easy mode. Click, 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 click. Look at that. Easy as that. Boom. I'll buy this potion, but I won't pay him much. He's going to buy it for 28 gold. Boom, we got an extra 8 gold out of him. You can also use spacebar for haggling. No mouse drifting while intensely haggling. That's pretty cool. Lack of suitable potions. You will often not have a ready-made potion for certain customers. That's okay. You can always go back to the laboratory and make the potion they need. There's no time limit, so you can focus on the recipe. The client will not leave. Okay. Enchanted Garden. Go to the garden to gather ingredients for the potion. It's located to the right of the laboratory. Let's do that first, and we'll come back and make her character after. Gathering ingredients. The Enchanted Garden is one of the main sources of the ingredients for an alchemist. You can grow herbs, mushrooms, and much more there. Every day, mature bushes will produce a harvest in the garden, so don't forget to gather it and harvest ingredients from the adult terraria and fireball bushes by clicking on them. I can't do the tutorial thing first, unfortunately, so I will just have to do what it tells me. I'll do that, and I'll do that. Yay, I've got an ingredient from each. Watering with a can, you grab the watering can and you hold it over it till they're watered. Boom, 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 and I get experience for doing so. Yay, I'm leveled up again. Boom. Go to the laboratory, create a new potion. Making a poison. The customer needs poison, which means you have to create a potion with a poison effect. You'll have to look for most of the effects on your own throughout the map, but you remember from your alchemy lessons that such a potion can be made from 1 terrarium and 1 fireball. So let me chuck that in there. Plop. And then blop. And then away we go. Oh, look at that. Yay. And then I go, yeah, like that. Boom, I've got poison. Finish potion. Return to the shop and sell the potion to the customer. Well then, let's find out who this lady is. Let's take a screenshot of her face. I got accustomed to your face. And let's go add her into the document. Who is she? Start giving me some names and who she is and what she looks like and what sort of a job she has and anybody that she mentions. Let's talk about them as well, like decide if she's talking about her husband or something. The fun thing about this game is as well that there's good guys and there's bad guys. There's unscrupulous people that are trying to poison people and like do bad things, and if you recognize that somebody is a bad thing or might want your potions for nefarious reasons and you turn them away, then your reputation goes up and you only get good people coming to your shop. If you sell to bad people, your reputation goes down, but then you get more bad people coming to the shop. Alright, let's see. Who is this person? Maud, Lucille, Lisa Thimblewood, a washerwoman, Mariana. None of these are jumping out at me. Amelia. Amelia works for me. Don't know what it is about. Sometimes the name just tickles my brain in the right way. Amelia is good. Amelia. Daisy. I could see Daisy. Griselda Athersby, the turnip seller. Turnip seller could work. She's a little bit too clean and proper for a turnip seller. I think she works relatively rich. She's got like a trimmed her dress and no mud or anything on her. So I think she's a washerwoman for like a more wealthy group, maybe. A more wealthy family, perhaps. She could be like a nurse for a wealthy family or something. Annabelle, Eleanor, Fanny. What does she want? Mice have infested my hut. She calls it a hut rather than a house, which is good. She also talks about it as being her own. Even though I have a cat. The cat just lies in the cabinets and watches the mice do whatever they please, so I need a vial of rat poison. Easier to poison those rodents than wait for the stupid cat's help. The way that she talks might influence who she is as well. Doris, Fanny, Brunhilde. Brunhilde. We should describe the character after seeing the haggling options. Some topics might hint what they do. That's a very good point, Pockfin. Let's put this on and let's see how she wants to act. So her topics are alcohol, food, and weapons. We don't know what her 4 and 5 are, but her topics are alcohol, food, and weapons. Prudence. Prudence. I quite like Prudence. I think that's a winner. Prudence, and then what was the other one I liked? Annalise or something. Let me zoom back up to where I liked it. Amelia. Prudence, Amelia. Prudence, Amelia. And then I need a surname of sorts. Prudence Amelia Brunhilde. Brunhild. I'm just going to go put Brunhild. Prudence Amelia Brunhild. That's her name. She is a female human by the looks of it. What do we think? She's in her late 20s. They're all quite young looking so far. Late 20s. What does she do? She's a wet nurse or something? No, I don't think she's a wet nurse anymore. Now that she's told us she lives in a hut and has a cat. She'd be wearing a head cover to be a wet nurse. Yeah, she's not wearing a hat, so she's probably poorer than she looks. She's got a nice outfit, but black market smuggler. Well, there is actually one of those in the game, so we'll not put another one in now. But there is actually another one that comes in and is definitively from her dialogue and stuff. She is a black market smuggler. Washerwoman. I think washerwoman works. Hair is giving humidity vibes. Yeah, okay, I like that. So she is a washerwoman. Is a washerwoman? So I don't really know for sure. Is a washerwoman someone who is like a professional launderer, laundry person? Like you would take your clothing to her and she would just wash them for you and then give you it back? Like, do people not do their own washing? Is that the purpose of a washerwoman? Just somebody who is constantly laundrying? Okay, cool. So she would have very overly moistured hands. should have pruny fingers. They would have to come to you. So a washerwoman would come to your house, take your clothes and wash them for you, and then drop them off again. Takes in laundry and washes it. Usually like a business where they hire women to do the washing. It could be both. Yeah, there you go then. So that's her job. She's a washerwoman. Has a cat. What's her cat's name? What's her lazy cat's name? She'd have wrecked hands from the lie in the boiling water. Yeah, probably be very dry hands. Yeah. Ginger, Mittens, Meowser, Rudolph, Mr. Tibbles. Jesus, you guys have never talked so fast as someone suddenly naming a cat. Mr. Tibbles, I liked. Mr. Tibbles, the cat. Has Mr. Tibbles a lazy cat and a rat problem? Cool. That is Prudence Amelia Brunhild. Let's start haggling. Oops. I definitely missed those just as a way of showing you what happens when you miss. Boom. 36 gold for the poison. There you are. She walks away happy. Once the last customer leaves the shop, you can rest in your bedroom. It's located above the laboratory. Go to the bedroom to the end of the day. So, these people, this is something we're going to have to kind of like, I'm not sure that a Myconid would sleep in the bedroom, but we'll just pretend. That's our garden. up to our bedroom, ending a day. To end the day, click on the bed and confirm you want to end the day. We can't do anything else because it's a tutorial, so we're not allowed to do anything other than what it's asking us to do. So we'll just pretend like this bed is actually, it looks like a bed, but it's actually a flower bed. Haha, wordplay. It's a flower bed, and instead of a mattress, once you pull back the sheet, the sheet's just on there for appearance sake and for keeping the moisture from evaporating out of the soil. But once you pull back the sheet, it's actually just a large rectangular container filled with soil, and we rest on that every night. So we click on the bed, we end the day. Night comes and goes. That sheet's actually grass, yeah. End of tutorial. You've refreshed your alchemy knowledge and familiarized yourself with alchemy equipment. In the attic next to the bed, you found a few ingredients and a ladle for water. Use the ladle to return to the center of the alchemy map and adjust the potion's position. Very useful. This is your potion shop now, and you decide what to do next. Greet customers, chat, sell potions, haggle, and don't forget to gather ingredients from the enchanted garden and gradually explore the alchemy map. Good luck! And that was the first episode of this series that I'm definitely calling whatever I'm calling it. Thank you for watching. You see how it plays out now. Join us for the next episode in the playlist, all available on my YouTube channel, or join me live on twitch.tv/RobertHartleyGM for the next episode. See you there. Hi there. If this is the first video you've watched of my stuff, check out more videos over here. I do D&D related content all the time.